must all get ready now.
Man, I miss the good old days. Back before I had to pay taxes, before I worried about how I dressed, and way before I found out what blue waffles were. Those were so much simpler times. I used to wake up, jump out of my bunk bed. Of course, I was on the top. I wasn't some type of nerd now. I would risk getting murdered by my fan just to feel cool and jump off my bed. Ooh, I used to be a cool guy. I used to go to the kitchen, put me a nice bowl of tricks with its colorful ball goodness. Used to have a whole bunch of balls in my mouth. Pause.
What the hell?
And I used to let it sit in the milk for a bit because I cared about the top of my mouth. And I used to turn on some Cartoon Network, man. That's the good old days. But as soon as I seen something trash pop up, like some Steven Universe or Uncle Grandpa, I would switch to Boomerang. I hated basically everything on Boomerang, from the Flintstones to any of the Scooby-Doos. I liked Wacky Races, that was cool, but that's not what this video is about. I would deal with all of those torturous shows just to get to a commercial break and see the Boomerang shorts. For a good 5 or 6 years, I completely forgot about them and never thought about them again. But then one lonely night, I was scrolling through YouTube and I seen a thumbnail with an animated black woman in a cat suit. And you may call me a sick individual, or maybe even worse, a furry.
All the single furries.
But hear me out. Every male knows that on lonely, quiet nights, they're the most down bad and make dastardly mistakes. So I click on the video because it catches my eye. I didn't even read the title. I just clicked on it. It opened with a crowd and a group of 3 women in cat suits. My first thought was sweet, 3 for 1 deal. But my second was, why do I feel like I know this? Then they started singing, Josie and the Pussycat. Long tails and ears for hats. And a wave of nostalgia just slapped me and stuffed me in a locker. And I felt like I was getting bullied, how hard it was hitting. Like Chris Breezy. It opened up some kind of vault in my head and it was busted wide open. If my memory served me right and my research, there were 9 shorts that carried my whole Boomerang experience. Jabberjaw, Adam Ant, Josie and the Pussycat, Gorilla for Sale, Soundhound, El Kabong, Johnny Quest, Thanks a Latte, and Quick Draw. We're gonna split them into 2 categories, shorts and songs. Why? I don't know. Just felt this would be easier this way. Easier how? I don't know. Stop asking questions and just watch the video. There are 4 shorts and 5 songs. So let's start with the shorts since there's less. Thanks a latte. I never worked the actual job. You know, I sold crack to a local fiend once in a while. But if I did and I really needed tips, I would act just like this barista. So he serves the dog in a soup. An absolute amazing latte. Steaming. I don't drink coffee, but it looked pretty good. And for good service, the kind normal human thing to do with their dogs, you should tip, of course. That's the only nice thing to do. But no. Instead, he chooses to absolutely violate my minds.
Tip? Here's a tip. Get a real job.
So the barista made it his goal that day to get his tip. He follows him everywhere, in his car, to his job. He even stole a whole girl's body. I'm gonna keep it up with you. He had the face of Bill Cosby, but the body of OnlyFans creator. Put a bag over that head, and I hit that.
Oh my God,
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
And then he chases him on the plane. The big dog sees an ugly mom and a baby. They both horrendous. They're hideous. Then runs to the restroom. And you wanna know what is waiting for him in there? Osama bin Laden! No! Get down! They're attacking your tower! No, I'm joking. That's not a good joke. My fault. I'm just joshing with y'all. It's the barista. So he finally gives up and forks up the cash. He forks up a lot of Skrilla, a lot of cash. He was like, here, take it! And he jumped straight out of a toilet. Now, I don't know if he survived. He didn't have a parachute. He jumped straight through the toilet. Nothing else was there. So, all I can tell you is that he jumped. If he survived, ain't my business. Just know that barista got his tip. Pause. Johnny Quest. The short is very simple. 3 dudes, 1 dog. 2 white men, 1 racially ambiguous guy. I'm not finna get canceled today. I'll let you choose which race you think he is. And what I'm guessing to be a pit bull. I don't think he has the taste for kids yet. He looks pretty pure. Look like he don't maybe 8 kids yet. His body count probably like a 0, maybe 1. But just imagine those people I just explained as those little green army man figures on a Monopoly board, and you got the short. The only thing notable that I really cared about the short was Johnny and his brown-skinned friend juked the mess out of a mummy. They was being chased, and they hit him with that, they hit him with that, no! Woo! They broke his ankles. Now that was very cool, but that's the only thing I liked about it. Besides the music, it was pretty cool, pretty jazzy, pretty snappy. Good draw. I'm not trying to be racist or anything. I know it's not a good start, but just know I'm not trying to be racist or anything. As a Southerner, I have the ability to say this. There's two quick draw shorts. One is more Mexican, right? It has music, and the other is more American Southern with no music. So we're talking about the latter right now. And if you don't know what the latter is, because I don't know what the latter is, I don't know if I'm even using this word right. We're talking about the one without music, okay? Quick draw is a horse. He either wears a cowboy outfit or a vigilante outfit with his little donkey sidekick and a sombrero. They cleaned up all the crime in the West, in the wild, wild West. So the mayor of New York told him to come on down, everybody, to clean up their streets. Because, you know, New York's a very disgusting place. As soon as he gets there, it's just like New York, full of crime and criminals. So he flies from each side of the screen to fight all the crime in multiple different forms of transportation. I even seen him riding a horse. Now, I still don't know how that works. You a horse on a horse. Would that horse also have a horse? I don't know. He finally finishes and starts to rest. Leans back. Oh, that was some hard work. His sidekick says a nice pun. I can't remember it off the top of my head.
That's just like Quick Draw. He thinks he can wipe out crime, but crime has really wiped him out.
And it looks like he did beat all the crime. As soon as the camera pans over to the right, that's the sound of the camera panning. You see that all the criminals went over to the West, and they're beating and robbing each other. Now, ain't that just a darn shame? No matter where you go, there will always be crime and evil, and that short really speaks volume to how evil people are and how everyone is leaving those big dirty cities and running to the good old South with their dirty city slicker values. You stay back. I want my people back. What people? My people, okay? Don't be racist. My people. Soundhound. Soundhound is another example on why the city sucks. A poor dog has tripped out his mind. Like, I don't know how he's so tripped. Can't even sing in peace without some kind of distraction. So he goes around the city, shutting it up. He's tired of this Batman. He's going to be the change of the world that we need. He stops a car from honking. Then he turns a jackhammer into a bird hammer. That sounds worse than it is. He just switches the sounds to birds chirping. He physically reaches through a radio, all the wires and connections, just to shut the host up. If I could do that, there would be way more people I could actually shut up when they say it on the phone. No one would be safe from my grasps. Two people are talking to each other on their phones, even though they're literally right behind each other. You just turn around, you can just talk to them. And you see here, kids, this is what's wrong with society. People too worried about phone and never about book. You know what? I will start the change. I would like one ticket for book, just like my revolutionary father, Martin Luther King Jr. I have a dream. He stops their conversation though, and the final noise is them young whippersnappers and their darn tunes. He covertly sneaks into the car and applies so much pressure to their heads that they can no longer move them. I don't know how that stops the music, but it does. Now that just leaves him in the quiet city, and he can finally sing. And let me tell y'all, it was beautiful. It brought tears to my eyes.
Oh, my darling Clementine.
Now we're moving on to the songs. We talked about the white southern quick draw. Now let's put some sauces on it. Yeah, get in the kitchen, chefing it up, and talk about the Mexican version. We're gonna call this version El Cabon. It starts off with a skeleton clicking his teeth to start the beat. I can't do it, but yeah, stuff. And then the guitar and those other instruments fade in. You see a horse on top of a horse. Now, I know we was talking about this before. How is that possible? Does the horse have a horse on top of the horse? But why does his sidekick have a tricycle? Why can't he have like a donkey on top of him? I mean, not other way around. Why can't he be on top of a donkey? You know what? That's really crazy. But once again, I'm not even gonna ask how that works. Just know it does. And this time, he has on his vigilante fit and his sidekick on the side being a sidekick because he's his sidekick. They mosey on down into town, and all eye sockets are on them because everyone in the town is a skeleton. That's funny. And the real ugly looking Mama Jamma walks out the building with the nastiest red and green fit I've ever seen. Like, that ain't drip, my boy. You gotta take that off. You ain't missed to put that on. You need to put that back in a closet. And he dares to laugh at El Cabon. I gotta keep on saying it like that. And his mighty guitar. And think just because he has more men and cannons that he can easily take him out? No! You fool! He beats all his henchmen with ease. The sicko tries to use El Cabon's sidekick as a hostage, but his wrist gets whipped and he drops it. El Cabon sees a flyer and a shorty's at a function. He pulls up to the function. What a bad whip-wielding horse shorty is. And they start jigging and jiving. And they pull out the pinata. Because who doesn't like a piñata at the function. But then the dirty weasel of a man pops out and takes everyone hostage behind El Cabong's nose. So the weasel plans on running everyone over in a train. But you already know who comes in to save them. El Cabong! He rides in on his mighty steed with his guitar and he hops off onto the train tracks. He's gonna need a bigger weapon. He pulls out an even bigger guitar that's made of metal and he one-shots the train and saves everyone. He gets a little smooch from his girl and that's the end of the story because he's a good guy. El Cabong! Gorilla for sale. I like this song for one reason and one reason only.
We got a gorilla for sale, McGill a gorilla for sale. We got a gorilla for sale, McGill a gorilla for sale. We got a gorilla for sale, McGill a gorilla for sale.
Yep, that's it. Very simple. Jabberjaw. Now, I've never watched a single episode of Jabberjaw. Not even a second of one. You would think I would, since I'm kind of making a video about it. But to you, my good sirs and ma'ams, my rebuttal is that it's too much work for a 6 to 10 minute video that's meant to make you chuckle. And that goes for all these shorts. I know it's a bit late in the video, but that goes for all these shorts. I'm not an old fart born in the 70s, so just enjoy the show and let's get back to Jabberjaw. The short starts off going straight for the competition's neck. The Masters of Mystery, aka Scooby and the gang. You know what? I can't even give it. Y'all just listen to this, bro. Listen.
Me and my friends get no respect. What does Scooby do that we neglect? We be putting all our foes in check, but me and my friends get no respect.
Then they start singing about saving the world. Who knows? They might. I don't know. But I don't know if I would be more confused or scared about a giant eel with robotic shrimp as henchmen. But who knows? The eel sees what I'm guessing to be the female guitarist. And that boy goes crazy. And I'm not one for objectifying women now. But she bad as heck, twin. I can understand why he kidnaps her. Now, I'm not saying I agree with it or would do it myself. But I will say it's understandable. So her band chases the eel down. And they break her out of her cup prison. Cup prison. Yeah, you heard me right. Cup prison. Man, this word is very confusing. They have cups for prisons, giant sharks playing drums, and evil eels that commit war crimes.
Incredible.
Man, crazy stuff. But the shark breaks her out. But instead of saying thank you or something like nice, she just violates my man and calls him stinky.
I will never date you because you smell like bacon.
Nah, bro. That's what's wrong with women nowadays. They never show good, respectable, strong, and dependable men any gratitude. My fault, bro. My fault. My ultimate signal slipped out. Let's get back to this. So the eel pulls up on him with his Harvey Norman universal remote that fires electricity and he shoots at an orange that they're hiding behind. Either they're short or that orange is huge. He then starts chasing them, but they catch him. And you wanna know how they do that? No. Not some elaborate trap. No. They don't have an epic fight scene. And no. They didn't even talk it out with him and help him get counseling. An eel that is capable of creating shrimp robots, a TV remote that shoots electricity, and kidnapping a damsel in distress is trapped inside a giant peanut butter sandwich. Man, that's some real crazy stuff. The music definitely went hard. Probably the first diss track ever in history, or at least top 3. It goes M to the B, then it's Everyday Bro, and lastly, Jabberjaw. Now, it's time for my 2 favorite shorts, songs. It's just all of the shorts in general. Josie and the Pussycats. Now, I already talked about it a bit in the start, so I'm not gonna get much in detail, but you know why I like it? 1, because I'm a man, and when I see female, my primate brain is stimulated, and 2, because the music go crazy, and the switches make it even harder. If I can show y'all, I will. If I can't, go watch it on YouTube. It's a bop. Adam Ant. And lastly, my most loved short. It's also the intro to this video. It's Adam Ant. The intro to the short is so hard, bro. I can't give it enough justice. So I'm gonna play it, even if it's copyrighted or not. But in the rest of the short, I can't explain what's going on. I just know it's an ant beating huge monsters and saving the planet.
There's a bright flash, brighter than the sun, brighter than anything you've ever seen.
Now you may think, why are my two favorites so short compared to the rest? And it's simple. I like the styles of them. Simple and sweet. If it looks good, it gets my support. Just like women. No, that's crazy. That's a joke. And that's the end. So I hope y'all like the video. Stay safe in them streets. And make sure you never forget, creativity can inspire greatness. And greatness inspires creativity. All right, now. See y'all later. Mwah.